Parental alienation is a father's issue. It's a men's issue. It doesn't happen to mothers. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it by showing 3 articles showing how the legal system is geared up to give the mother, the woman, whatever she wants. And one of them is a case where the woman turns out to be a pedophile who's into little girls. Okay, I'm saving that one to last, so you can go ahead if you want to get there at the end. But here's a case where a judge apologizes to a loving father who is prevented from seeing his children who are alienated from him after their mother spent years demonizing him. So this judge actually knows that the father is innocent, and he's powerless to do anything. I mean, he's a judge. Why doesn't he just, say, sorry, I'm giving the joint custody or full custody to the husband, right? He can't do it. The legal system is obviously set up so his hands are tied. So that's the first one. Now I want to show you this one where the mother is abusing her child psychologically by dressing him up as a little girl when he identifies as a little boy. One father's nightmare battle for 3-year-old son. Mom is raising non-binary, right? Now, the San Francisco dad, of course, his name is Harrison Tinsley, seeking full custody of his son Sawyer, who is only 3, who is currently spending time with his ex-girlfriends, the boy's mother. Sawyer's mother, 30, uses pronouns they, them for the boy. But more importantly, she puts him in dresses and makeup. Photos provided Tinsley appear to show. And this boy, by the way, identifies as a little boy. So it's not his idea. Sawyer also told his dad that his mother put him in princess shoes on a trip to Disneyland. There you go. So this is, by the way, happens all the time too, right? All these TERFs who hate trans women, well, it's the mothers that usually convert the boys over, right? Not the fathers. Now, Sawyer himself rebels against his mom, and insists he is a boy. There you go. So this isn't a case where the boy's confused and his mother's just going with the flow. She, as a typical woman, doesn't like men and therefore doesn't like little boys. And she's attacking her own son. She's damaging him psychologically. Right? Now, the mother herself now identifies as non-binary, although she did not when she was dating Tinsley. See, this what these women, first of all, she doesn't identify, whatever she identifies as, she sees herself as a woman. Trust me. This is just her LARPing. But she identified as a woman to get the man. And when she wants to dump the man, then she pretends she LARPs, right? Gender confusion is not Tinsley's only concern for her son. He is also concerned for the child's immediate safety. Back in 21, Sawyer's mom was arrested and booked in jail for felony child endangerment when the 1-year-old Sawyer fell off the bed during an altercation between the mother and her roommate. A police body cam shows this. So the police gave custody to Sawyer to her dad's for the night and put her in psychiatric hold, right? She was ultimately not convicted of a crime. See, that the legal system doesn't want to put women in jail, even though the body cam showed that she did something dangerous. During psychiatric hold at the hospital, Sawyer's mom told the psychiatrist she has a borderline personality disorder, a condition that can involve impulsive and risky behavior. The psychiatrist later testified. Right. Child Protective Services, this is a joke. They're not about protecting the child. They're about giving the mother what she wants, investigated the police incident and concluded that the mother was not a safety threat to her son. Her mental health was a complicating factor, but not a safety issue. See, now, if this was the father who had this mental condition, they would boot him out of the family unit. They would separate him from the children immediately. So Child Protective Services is geared up to put children with their mothers, no matter how dangerous their mothers are. So how could fathers have the ability to alienate the mothers from their children? The women can't be jailed. The services put the children with them. Judges can't separate them. Sawyer's mother was on 5 different medications for PSD, blah, 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 etc. More, right? She can also heard that in the police body cam footage mentioning that she drank alcohol earlier that day. Right, exactly. Sawyer's mom told police that she's autistic and that she is a manic depressive and has more volatile alter ego named Lexi. Okay, so this woman's admitting she has psychological issues that can endanger her child. Yet you're going to find out that, guess what? 50-50 parenting is still going on. The family court held a trial with potential of granting Tinsley full custody of Sawyer, but the judge ultimately decided to keep 50-50 between the parents. So if the mother can be that dangerous, that much of a danger to her son, and they're still giving her 50-50, and look at her attitude. Tinsley moved to San Francisco Bay Area for a shot at joint custody. He was just looking for joint custody then. When that was eventually granted, Sawyer's mother lashed out at the female family court judge on social media. See, this woman she's not even being separated from her son. She's just putting up with joint custody. She's angry that she has to deal with the father, or that her son will deal with the father. And the father cares about the son's well-being, and she doesn't. And yet the court is giving her 50-50. So again, I ask you this rhetorical question, everyone. How can fathers alienate mothers from their children when the court system is geared up like this? Now, we'll get to this one, the one exclusive. Socialite mom, 45, is arrested in child porn sting. She allegedly planned to sexually abuse an 8-year-old girl. Now, federal judge, ex-husband, dang, he's a federal judge, launches court battle to win full custody of their daughter is age 10 and not 12. So this guy, he's not just any judge, he's a federal court judge. And he doesn't have he has to actually struggle to get his daughters away from this pedophile. I want you guys to think about that. Okay? Now, I'll get into some of the grimy details. His wife, Eleanor, 45, a member of Virginia's most prominent families, was snared in an FBI sting last month after messaging an undercover agent explicit and sickening details about what she wanted to do to the child, according to the court filings. My word. The FBI agent made a fictitious daughter up, and she was right into the idea of abusing her. The mother of 2, who has been charged with child porn and child sex abuse offenses, is also accused of sending the agent a 30-second video and 3 still images of young minor girls being horrifically sexually abused by men. Oh, she was turned on by this. She was turned on big time. Oh my God. Now, notice a couple things. First of all, gay men, if you're listening, notice in the past, at least, not very far back, if a man came out as gay, people would assume he was turned on by little boys, even though he was just turned on by grown men. That assumption doesn't happen with lesbians, right? And this guy is a federal court judge and has to go through hoops. He should have just got called one day by the FBI and them saying, by the way, you now have full custody of your little girls. And this woman will not be accused of, let's say, being turned on by little girls, will she? Will she? Okay. And also, these women have custody, or not custody, these women have access to children in the way that men don't. She had previously worked in child advocacy and support organizations and was a volunteer. Right. So people just assume you're female, you'll never harm a child, when it's actually the complete opposite. You're more likely to. Exactly. Now, dailymail.com can also reveal her ex-husband, federal judge, is fighting for full custody. Right. He has to fight for it, right? It's incredible. Now, this is how much this woman was into this, right? She allegedly contacted the agent through the app to ask about the abuse he was perpetrating against his daughter. This is fictitious girl, right? Saying, what do you think the next step will be? Throughout the message exchange, Hope expressed an interest in traveling to Washington to abuse the undercover agent's fictitious daughter with him, the paper state. She repeatedly said she wanted to help the father introduce the 8-year-old to sexual activity, and agreed she would travel from her home, it is alleged. They must have to put the FBI agent in jail for sex trafficking, because he obviously sex trafficked this grown woman across state borders to abuse children, right? I can't wait. This is her, Hope, talking. I can't wait. And then, of course, putting her to bed and waking her up to do a few extra things will be fun. She then suggested something about anal sex. Has she seen videos of little girls with her dad yet? Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Hope is then to have sent agent a 30-second clip of a small frame female who appears to be on a bed. Okay. She was very much into it. Oh, my God. So this guy, again, is supposedly top dog, right? He's the high status man, and he's a federal judge. Yet who has all the power? This woman. That's who has the power. This is who has all the social power. So again, I'm giving this rhetorical question to you guys. How can men alienate mothers from their children when everything in the legal system is geared up to put the child with them? They can't, obviously. I even asked the question, is parental alienation a pseudoscience? Now, Microsoft Bing says unscientific belief system. This has, the reason I bring this up is that the feminists will do two things. One, they'll claim that parental alienation is just a pseudoscience. And then the second thing they'll do is that it happens to mothers too. It's a double-pronged attack. But this has nothing to do with science. It's merely describing what's happening to a person. That should be like saying thievery is a pseudoscience or murder is a pseudoscience, you know? So just describing what women are doing to men is considered a science. And this is how bad it is. So I've debunked this horseshit once and for all. Women do not suffer child alienation, parental alienation, I should say. It is strictly something that happens to fathers. That's something that's done to men by women. It's a men's issue. And I implore you guys to stop. Don't let people try and say that it happens to women. It doesn't. If it does, it's an anomaly. It's like 0.00001% or something like that. This is a men's issue. Thank you.